Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Real Kids podcast. I'm Annabelle, your host, and today I am going to be having a conversation with a male lead, and I'm going to be asking him everything that, well, I personally have ever wanted to ask a lead. I've also gotten some questions from our Instagram page that people have submitted. So I would like to introduce you Tudor. He is a native Romanian who is now living in the south of France and dancing all over Europe. You may have recognized him from a recent festival. And if you haven't seen him yet, rest assured you will run into him eventually because he goes to a dance festival almost every weekend, or as he'll tell you, he tries to. So we will talk about that. Please give Tudor a warm welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Anna. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm really happy that you gave me such a nice intro. I'm a bit flattered.
I actually haven't said anything nice about you yet, but now that you
Oh,
mentioned it, I will.
oh shit! Oh, there's more.
So I want to tell everyone about how we met. I met Tudor earlier this year at
Exodus.
Exodus, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the Friday day social. I remember I got there right at the beginning of the social. And I was a little nervous because I went to the festival by myself. I didn't really have any close friends there. So I was definitely feeling a little out of sorts, a little bit rusty. I haven't danced in about a month. And Tudor was the first person who asked me to dance. And we started having a really lovely dance. And at first, I remember being a little rusty, but then we kept dancing and then you kept doing all the things and you were slowly building things up, doing more and more advanced stuff. And I'm like, wow, this is all coming back to me. And by the end of the dance, I feel like we've done everything. And I was thinking, thank you, universe. This is exactly what I needed. This was the perfect first dance for me, because I feel like it has absolutely refreshed everything that I knew about Urban Kids. And it was such a friendly, warm, welcoming intro to the festival and just really a perfect first dance. So thank you so, so much. I don't know if I've ever told you how much I appreciated that, but yeah, thank you. That was so lovely.
Well, thank you very much for the kind words and touches right here. And if you felt like that, it's because I felt like that enough to also slowly build upon with a new dancer, a new person I've never met before. And like my good dear friend and also professor in tango, she always says it takes two to tango. So if you feel like that, it's usually because you also make me feel like that. And like that's how I say, the beauty and the art of the dance usually develops if both have that kind of mutual respect, connection, and creativity and patience. It's almost very rare that it doesn't go well. Thank you to you as well for bringing that out of me.
You definitely had a lot of patience because I know I made mistakes, and you were patient enough to repeat the move and allow me to get it right the second or the third time. And you didn't just say, fuck this girl. She can't dance. She doesn't know this move.
Oh, come on, like I'm nowhere near a perfect leader by any means, so I don't expect perfection from myself. So it's definitely not fair to expect it from my partner. There's so many factors to like consider. At the end of the day, why we're there is to have fun and feel good.
I really wish that every single lead had that attitude and disposition.
Some good attitudes that I guess to be learned and communicated and taught.
Can you start by telling us about your dance journey and how did you discover Urban Kids and how did you start dancing? How long you've been dancing and like what has been your growth journey? Because right now you're a very good lead and I've seen you be a taxi dancer.
Mhm.
How did that happen for you?
So I started trying to learn how to dance, and I mean dance from zero. Like I had nothing. Right a bit before COVID started, end of 2019, something like this. I started with the basic salsa and a bit of bachata here. Quickly got cut around February 2020 because of the pandemic. And then once the pandemic started to become more controlled, I'd say I really started again seriously with consistency in 2021. End of that. I did basically bachata for about 6 months. And by coincidence, the school where I was taking classes and learning, they also offered keys. And so I just tried it one day, and shout out to Crispy and Lally. They're the local professors here who kind of started that journey for me, and I started doing courses with them and kind of group courses for about a year. And then after the year, I started to ask questions and discover more artists and styles and influences that I really liked. And I came across Gipe and Steffi, and I'm immediately in love. And they still are a huge influence, and probably the main reason I enjoy dancing urban so much. So especially a lot of the way they teach and the styles they demonstrate, as well as a lot of their attitudes I find are really appealing to me. That somehow they're listening. Merci beaucoup. And then after so let's say around 2022, end of 2022, I really start developing it more and more. And I did my first festival in twenty twenty
Uh,
three.
So you
So
waited basically almost 3 years since you started dancing to attend your first festival.
yeah, yeah, it was a big wait. A significant amount of time passed before I actually felt confident enough to go out to even to the local parties. I didn't go out for maybe 6 months to actually try because I didn't feel competent enough. And maybe some of the attitudes I felt on the reciprocating side of good follows and people that already had a certain comfort with the dance. I tried to avoid using the word levels because personally I don't like it so much. But so if I use comfort, I'm referring to what a lot of people say as levels. But yeah, it took me a while to actually build up the courage and say, yeah, fuck it, let's try a festival. And I tried that at the end of 2023. It was the Malaga Temptation Festival, end of December. Continuing from that on, I kept doing, courses here, a random festival, but not so many. And then eventually, something that really shot my growth and let's say piqued my interest is when I did a very intensive boot camp with Gipe and Steffi last November. It was in Cologne, in Germany, where you are. And it was something like 18 hours in 2 days of intense courses. Like you're just training basics. And it was really eye-opening for me in the sense of one, the people that I got to meet that were just super nice and they had like really nice attitudes and different backgrounds and disciplines as well that let's say up until that point was kind of lacking. I think for me, I didn't it wasn't there was a lot of social elements of dancing that were kind of missing for me, so that was kind of a bit intimidating as well. But then also the attitudes of training like very strong foundations and basics, where becoming a better dancer doesn't mean learning more steps. It meant more, really understanding the principles of the walk, of the saidas, of the weight transfers, like the very stuff that maybe is not so sexy to sell in terms of like a course or something to demonstrate. But once you've done it, 18 hours straight and you continue training at home, you feel the difference after maybe months or whatever. And you see like, wow, okay, this is what it means to really develop. And after that, I started taking tango classes as well. Lucky enough, I have a very good friend. She's a tango professor here in the south of France. Shout out to Barbara and then Kane, her partner for the tango school. And I started to notice that a lot of the things that I learned at the boot camp that she's talking about, uh, they're kind of talking about the same thing, even though they're different dance styles. Partner dance, but dance styles. I continue to follow this kind of, let's say, path of working on like the fundamentals, the basics of the body mechanics, and let's say the more technical stuff, as I still do. I try my best to this day. And then I started taking private lessons with, not sure if you've met him, but there's a DJ Ozzy Shine. Shout out. I'm shouting out a lot of people, but I have to because it's they're the ones responsible for a lot of what I'm doing, everything.
Yeah, give them credit, of course.
Yeah, he's also a DJ as well. He mixes, but he's a damn good dancer and keys professor. And again, combining all of these influences, I start to see that a lot of them are talking about similar things. Obviously, in the context of whatever dance they're coming from or classes I'm taking. But I start to notice that there's an underlying element that's common to a lot of this, no matter what dance is. And yeah, and so I've just been following that as best I can, given time, energy, and money constraints as well. And eventually, just randomly, as I start to build up a certain level and I start to get good feedback from people I dance with, and also internal discussions I have, let's say, about how I feel about dancing, I got the courage to reach out to people for some ads I saw at, gosh, where was it? I think it was Providence. It was a local salsa bachata keys festival here in south, but towards Marseille area. They were asking for taxi dancers, and I said, "Yeah, you know what? If you guys need one, I'll happy to help." from there, I decided to keep going. 1 year later, so from 2024 to 2025, that's where I'm at.
So, right now, most of the festivals that you go to, do you go as a taxi dancer or do you go as an attendee?
I try to do half and half. Taxi dancing, obviously, there's an advantage where you do have the pass, let's say, included, but you have services that you give in exchange. So I'm helping as best I can to keep people dancing and bring whatever atmosphere and energy I can so that we can kind of address the significant disparity issue between leads and follows at festivals. It's kind of an ongoing thing. And at the same time, if there's a festival that I really do, let's say, I'm interested in, I will pay the ticket and I'll go there as a individual attendee versus taxi dancer. So I try to do kind of like a half and half, depending on also the prices included with travel and hotel and all that stuff.
So, if you wanted to, could you go to any festival of your choice as a taxi dancer, or have you been invited as a guest?
It's an interesting question because I had a good talk about this subject about what it means to be a guest dancer, and I don't know if I could go to any festival. I don't think I have that reputation or how well known I am or not.
Yet.
Yeah, but it's also not something I'm like really looking for. I don't want to build like a huge. My goal is not to become whatever Instagram famous and all that. I'm just trying to manage, let's say, the game as much as I can. For example, I created the Instagram account I use for the dance purposes because before I just had my regular profile one, and I realized I didn't like mixing too much of my personal life with the dance one because all these people that I would meet were just kind of random names I would never talk to ever again and probably never cross again. And I tried to be a bit more selective with the people I would want to mix and match between the one Instagram profile and the one I use for dancing, let's say. As I started to become more comfortable doing taxi dancing, and obviously a lot of these organizers, they talk to themselves and it is a community, so people exchange references. I got referred a few times. I got reached out a few times. Some people reached out for festivals that I couldn't make because of scheduling issues, but I was just surprised that they reached out to me. So, because I had no idea who they were and how they found out about me, but I guess they talked to somebody who with me. And yeah, the guest dancer. And yeah, I've been invited as a guest dancer for a few festivals. I'm a bit like, let's say, even though I get invited as a guest dancer, I do my best not to. I do my best to still treat it as a taxi and at least that kind of service. Because I think a guest dancing, for me personally, it's kind of like a useless thing. Like you're invited for free and you don't have any obligations. So it's like you're just there. And I feel like, well, if they, at least they're giving me a pass for free, I feel I should at least contribute somehow. I don't want to just. It's nice to get free stuff, but especially in the dance thing where the whole point is like you're sharing with people and you're having a good time and they're giving you energy and you're both participating in an activity that involves at least two parties. Some people dance with more than one person at the same time, but you require a bit of effort from both sides. So I try my best to not do guest dancing, specifically request it. But and if they ask me, I'll say okay. But if you can ask me as a taxi dancer, or if it's just a guest dancer, I'll treat it as a taxi obligation. So I'll just try and dance for everybody for the 2 3 hours during the soiree, and after that I kind of relax as my own thing and like that.
I really appreciate how you want to bring value to the festival and to the other attendees when you are brought in as a guest. So,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
thank you.
I try.
You do a great job. I've only seen you at 2 festivals, but still, from what I've seen, I do see you dancing with a lot of different people, and you make it a point to, find people to dance with, and you are very friendly and very social.
Yeah, I think it might have been something you even shared one time on a post or something that I thought was really interesting. It was a quote by somebody who said something like, "Yeah, if you can only dance with good dancers, you're not a good dancer." Meaning, and I think they're kind of illuminating in this kind of, I think it was a text that just put on like a Instagram story or something I saw quickly. Good dancer or whatever, but a lot of people I think maybe kind of gravitate towards the stars and the people that are really known or present on the social media stuff or whatever. And they'll kind of gravitate towards that. And maybe people that are not as vocal or maybe a bit more timid or all, they just get missed out. And I've been there. I've been the guy that's just not as outspoken or flashy or whatever. And there are fantastic dancers out there. You have, my God, like that's it's one of the I think the pleasures if you go to a festival is like I wonder who I'm going to dance with and how they're going to surprise me because you have no ideas. You can dance with somebody. You can even say like I mean it sounds prejudgmental, but you can even say like maybe they have like mobility issues or I don't know because of the way they walk. It seems like maybe they have a mobility issue or something like that, and they can. I've danced with some people. You're like, wow, that was impressive. I lost I like an hour just passed just disappeared with you because we were just dancing and had no expectations and you would never even assume that this person could do what they can on the dance floor. That's amazing.
Yeah, I really do also love to be surprised by people who, you look at them and you have no idea, or like,
Yeah.
they may not look like a great dancer, but they are. Yes, it's always a really nice surprise. And it's really nice that people are open-minded about it and that they're open to that idea of being surprised by someone and that they're willing to take that chance and have it pay off.
Yeah. I don't know if you have this with same previous experiences too, but like I get these kind of dances where you're just not expecting and something incredible happens, and I get a bit of like a after you're just kind of wow that was great, and I also get the moment of like why did I think it wouldn't be great with this person, or why was I where was the prejudging coming from? Nice, it's a nice introspective experience too. You're like wow, yeah, maybe I gotta reassess some I don't know, habits or mindsets that I'm just accepting for granted or not questioning enough. And what else is that, preventing me from seeing or experiencing and stuff like that. So, yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know.
absolutely. I love that introspection for sure. Always questioning ourselves and our beliefs. Can we go back and talk about when you were first starting? You have alluded to the fact that there were follows who were not as welcoming and friendly as they could have been. What kind of support do you think you would have benefited from when you were first starting that you didn't get, but you wish you could have had? That would have made it easier for you or that would have supported you more?
Yeah, that's a good question. A lot of it, I think, has to do with like how people are taught and learn about the different say roles and responsibilities within partner dancing as a leader and a follower. I think one thing I could have benefited from a lot was probably patience. I think there is a lot of pressure when you're a leader to make the person step and do something and make something happen. And there's also kind of a performative aspect to it where if it's not good, if it's not perfect, it's not good, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
So things like that, I still struggle with it sometimes, even my two courses where I see a lot of these things that they're teaching. And you have a lot of the leader talking about how to do the steps and all that. And in terms of like what the follower to do is often not enough vocalized in terms of what their role is in the sharing of the effort. But also it's like, how to make it easier for the follower, okay, but how do you also make it easier for the leader in that sense? So I think patience would have been a nice one, where maybe a bit more effort or energy was spent on saying that listen, your leader will need patience, like you can do the step in half time or quarter time, like and it'll still be a step, and it's okay, it doesn't have to happen on the each step is a count, and that's how it's done. Mistakes can and will happen, and that's okay. Part of the dance is that you can develop something else in this kind of situation if you're open and creative enough to see something else versus just an error. If that makes sense? Like maybe you didn't step correctly where you should have, but that misstep maybe led to something else that was possible. So like that. I think also some of the attitudes that I noticed, I still feel it sometimes when you dance with certain people that I think it was not so clear in the beginning because I didn't have a reference point. So I was kind of saying, oh, this is what it's like and this is what it should be like when I was first entering the dancing community. But I think a lot of these attitudes were like the leader should make me dance and I as a follower am doing nothing. like including to the point of like not keeping rhythm or listening to the music. It's like you make me dance or versus we dance together, that kind of attitude. I don't know if it makes sense, but
No, it absolutely does. Yeah. So basically, as a follow, I'm just going to follow you and I'm just going to do whatever you make me do. And if you don't do anything, then I'm just going to stand there.
yes, exactly. Yeah. There was this kind of, it still is actually, yeah, it's actually, you said it really nicely in kind of a extended way, that this kind of not teaching active following, where you're an active participant in this activity, right? You are listening to the music, you're keeping count, and you're even doing the basic too if nothing's happening, right? Like you're still moving to the music and stuff. So, and also opening your eyes. God damn it. I hate that so much. Like, I understand if you're dancing in a closed position, but if you're in an open position like this, please open your eyes. I can't see behind me. I understand it can help, with, relaxing and allowing yourself to be guided, but please open your eye. I'm just saying it in general. If anyone's listening,
Yeah, I get it. I understand.
yeah. Yeah, and I think maybe some more, I think I guess that's a kind of a nice summary, for now. Some attitudes, habits about not keeping the eyes open and stuff, and as well as like active following. Let's say it's kind of a initial uh hurdle. Is that the word?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so these are some of the things that you wish were being taught to the follows so that
hmm
they knew that, so that everyone knew that.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's still it's going to be like an ongoing effort throughout any dance career that these elements should be taught. I still come across it as I dance with people wherever, but I think especially if it's addressed in the beginning, I think the path can be a lot more smoother and productive for both ends because the that way the follower learns to be more independent in that sense. You still have this, individual identity that you can allow to yourself to express even in the dynamic of a partner dance. And you also feel less pressure as a leader to make this person move to the music, etc. So, yeah.
Did you feel supported by other leads when you were first learning and starting to dance?
Uh, yes and no. I mean, in general, it depends who you talk to. I think it's kind of like a guy thing. We're sometimes not always that like helpful to each other. It's just like, and if you ask for help specifically, certain people, yes, they will provide guidance and help and aid effort in whatever issue you're struggling with, dance or outside. But in terms of like a sense of community about leaders saying, like, I learned this, maybe this can help you or something like that, not so much. You're kind of left a bit on your own to navigate it. And you do come across some very, very nice people. Very lucky that I've managed to meet the people I have throughout. But there it's quite rare, and I wouldn't say it's like a strong atmosphere of cooperation and support. You're kind of like we all go into the jungle at the same time, and maybe we'll all meet out on the other side if we survive. If not, kind of thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So were you able to meet other leads on your dance journey and become friends with other leads on your dance journey?
Yeah, I mean, it depends. I guess it depends how everyone defines the word friend, but I can say I've met some people that I've become a lot more closer than just like, hey, how are you? What's up? Kind of thing. Friends, yeah, I can say I've started to become friends with some people because of the dance journey. For me, this comes from seeing this person repeatedly and talking to them a bit more, and also, having moments where you can see what this person thinks about a situation, or if they ask for help, you there, and vice versa. So I won't say that it's more so than outside of dance, but I think in general, making friends is kind of it's a process that takes time.
Men?
I'd say like in general, men and women, like I hope that, friendships are, they develop naturally as you start to develop a relationship with this person and you become more trustworthy, that you can have a sense of dependency and shared hobbies, and you can discuss things that are a bit more, say, profound and resonating within you, both of you. Let's say you have the ability to grow from each other, learning something that you know how to, manage. Let's say that friendship in times when there's tension. Like you maybe don't agree, and you learn that, like, yeah, we don't agree, but we have this friendship that I think we can strengthen and develop because of this difference, and find a way that it's not a killing point or whatever. So I'll say that, yeah, and through the dance journey, I met some people that you can say I'm on that path with, but I won't say it's like I met like, oh, I met a fantastic new friend or whatever. It's like, yeah, we're on the way to say friendship, and maybe some are already there, but I won't say it's more or less than say outside of regular or say meeting coworkers or somebody you met at the art gallery or illegal dog fight.
What about your dance teachers when you were first starting? Were they as supportive as you needed them to be, or is there something that you wish you would have had from them that was more that you didn't initially receive?
Dance teachers, I mean, certain ones, yes, certain ones less so. It depends on their availability and also like the size of the classes. Because I was taking kind of communal courses at the beginning. I think a lot of people do. We have like just a, depending on the size and whatever, but you could have between 10 to sometimes 30, 40 people. And at that point, the professor or the teacher's quite spread thin and it's hard to kind of give attention. And also depends on their attitude. If they're just more there for, get the hour out and get the cash, or I want you to learn the correct way and, make sure that your questions are answered, etc. I will say certain ones definitely maybe it started less like a friendship, more of something like just professional, like us paying to go this course with somebody and they were teaching me techniques and all that. This relationship is I'm guiding you through this activity. But as we got to do it more and more, it kind of gained a more of a mutual respect and say it's developed more into a friendship as well versus just student and teacher. So it's kind of varied.
Okay. Speaking of large communal classes, what are your
Yeah.
thoughts on festival workshops for leads? Like the leads who go to those workshops and even the
Uh-huh.
follows. Those classes can be rather large, and it's very rare that you get any individual attention from the teachers of the workshop.
Yeah.
So, as a lead, do you think they're beneficial, or what are your thoughts on them?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's like try to get both, let's say, both sides, try to look at it from different perspectives. It's good, I guess, to see what other people bring to the community and try and teaching something in, you know, the limited time they have, like a new step or a new technique. So that's cool in order to like get the imagination and the creativity uh, wheels turning. That looks cool. It gives me an idea for that or whatever. But in terms of actually communicating and transferring knowledge, I would not say it's like the best way at all times to do so, especially given the really limited time that they have. And I would say it's never an hour. It's a lot less because they have to do the demo. They usually do a warm up, putting people just to sit and stand in like a line or whatever, and then find a partner to practice just eats time as well. And so, and just the sheer number of people sometimes present is like it's impossible. You have people also at the side that are talking, and if it's a big festival, there's usually noise from like another room where maybe the demo's already going on, or there's just music or whatever. So it's not the most conductive, uh, productive environment, let's say, to learn something like that. It can inspire, which is nice. So I think you should try to go sometimes, but I would say be very, very selective because overall it's maybe not as beneficial as it can be. Yeah, I would say they're also usually lead focused. Usually the leader's doing most of the talking, which okay, that's 50% of the info, I guess. But
But again,
uh,
that active following is not necessarily being taught to the follow.
yeah, I can see how stuff like that can maybe subconsciously put followers into this mode of thinking like, oh, I should just listen to the leader and I don't do anything because the co-prof or the second half of the couple or whoever, if they're doing the class as a lead and follow professors, I often find they're not as vocal as I would like them to be. They would probably need to be in order to communicate the other half, and I think that's the hard part. It is a half. It's not like, oh, he's doing 70 and she doesn't. No, it's half half, and if it's done well, I think. And so I think that kind of it's not giving a good, I don't know, um transmission of the information needed as the follow, but also like the attitude we should be having as a follow, and as well as the importance of the follow as well. So I think, yeah, there should be a bit more effort onto that. And I even see times where like the follow doesn't even have a microphone. You're like, you're just like, why are you here then?
Thank you. Thank you for acknowledging that as a
Yeah,
lead, as a man. Thank you for acknowledging that and noticing that and noting its importance and the impact and the message that it sends to everyone.
yeah, it is. Like, I can only comment on what I see as like the other side of it because I'm not good as a follower. I've tried before. It's a good joke if you want to see like something funny. Watch me dance as a follow. It's funny because I'm bad.
Yeah, active following is a skill.
Oh
Like you
my
said,
gosh. Oh my God, it's difficult.
it is very difficult to follow.
Oh my
There are
God.
so many things that you have to be aware of. There's so much body control that you need to have. And then at the same time, you also need to be open and receptive. And it's like walking an edge of a knife.
Yeah, like I tried it a few times and it's interesting. I definitely want to explore it more, but like also the trust you got to put in this person. You're like, it's not intuitive. Like, they'll just advance and you have to walk backwards. And like, is there someone behind me? Like, I don't have the instinct to just let that person walk and I walk back and nothing's gonna happen. That's like psychological thing. Oh my God,
Yeah.
not trivial. That's the word. It's not trivial.
Yeah. Hey, well, let's talk about the very big topic of the ratio imbalance at dance events and festivals. As a lead, not just when you're a taxi dancer, but when you're just an attendee,
Mhm.
do you really feel a lot of pressure, a lot of eyes on you at all times, multiple people want to dance with you? What is it like being a lead at a very imbalanced festival? I remember Exodus was very imbalanced, which is why I'm not going back
Mhm.
next year. And just the energy of the room. You walk in and all the follows, you could feel the energy of the follows. It's like they hated every other follow for being there.
Yeah.
And it was so palpable and it was so almost oppressive and negative that I did not even want to be in the urban room because I just felt bad for being there.
Yeah, it's a tricky subject because there has to be a solution to it. Otherwise, it's definitely not sustainable. This type of model. I don't know how it's going to continue like this. Yes, if you go to a festival as a leader and you have some kind of competency, comfort in your skill and your ability to dance, will naturally see feel that people want to dance with you, and this will start to, let's say, you will feel this kind of in a good way, as like, people want to dance with you. It's nice, like you kind of feel validated that like, oh yeah, okay, I get invited too. It's not just vice versa. But at the same time, if the priority is off, it's exhausting. I feel kind of cornered sometimes where you almost have to like quit the dance and just run to the bathroom because you just feel you're gonna get like asked 5 different times by these women that are followers in general, women, men, whatever they wanna identify as. They're you can still there's almost a desperation for a dance because some of them might be waiting who knows how much, maybe hours on end. I've heard stories and I've talked to friends that are followers and like, I spent this whole festival. It was what 11 in the PM until 6 a.m. and I had 4 dances. I'm like, what? Like, did it last long? And they're like, no, 20 minutes here, 30 minutes there, and 5, 10 minutes. Like, you just hear these horror stories. You paid for your tickets. So yeah, the atmosphere is not nice because it definitely breeds, let's say, interfollow hostility in a way. It definitely, I think, puts a lot of weird pressure on the women and the followers that are doing these the truths the dancers follow to market themselves in another way. Let's say more revealing clothing or whatever, because that will maybe increase the chances of getting asked as a dance. And
And does
the
it work?
I think for, yes, some men, yes, probably most of them, I would say it works. Like, yeah, I'll be like, if a woman's like just that, like, sorry, but just like a dress, you're just like, that's not a dress. Like, this is dental floss. You know what I mean? You're like,
Get my hands on that. Would you like to dance?
yeah, yeah, like, well, That that's a type of clothing, I guess. Would you like to there? Yeah, yeah. Obviously, the sex sells. Let's say it's always gonna be a factor, but it puts a mood that's not, let's say, where the primary goal. I go. Let's say a main driver for these festivals should be to dance, not just to hook up or whatever. Find someone that's just barely clothed because that's who's available and that's who's drawing your attention the most.
Yeah, and a lot of these women, they probably don't even want to hook up. They literally just want to dance,
Exactly.
and they resort
Yeah.
to dressing very sexy and revealing because they do know that sex sells and they're dressing for the male gaze. And they know that, oh, well, this is the only thing that is going to get me dances
Yeah.
tonight. Even though
Yeah.
they are amazing follows, I'm sure, and amazing dancers. So their dance skill is not the issue. They're beautiful, they're dressed well, but it's just the sheer number of them. Like at Exodus, I have never before seen such a great volume of gorgeous women. They were all gorgeous and they were all dressed up, and I felt underdressed.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, well, if they're wallflowers on the wall, then I definitely don't have a chance.
Yeah, yeah. It takes away the, let's say, the intent of the festival to something that if it's consensual, whatever, fine. Like we're all adults, you guys do what you want. I hope, that there's always this kind of mutual agreement to whatever you want to do outside of the dance thing. But yeah, like you said, it takes away from the kind of intrinsic, you know, X factor that we're all there for is to dance. I hope. Not always the case for a lot of people, I think. And it also, I think, it takes away from maybe the focus on these women in terms of what you would kind of want to be investing your time in. If you see that you're putting the effort in, and a lot of them do put the effort in, incredible amounts of effort to get better following, to have more clean lines, or all this stuff that makes you a better dancer. And in the end, you're waiting hours on end, and the woman, and say a new, like a beginner comes in, but she's wearing almost next to nothing, and she's getting danced 10, 15 times per hour. You kind of start to question I don't have this experience, but I imagine you start asking some heavy questions to yourself as to like, why am I doing this? And is there any value to it? Should I be doing something else? And yeah, I've talked to some friends that are female follows, right? And a lot of empathy for them. And I'm trying to see if I can think of a way that would maybe help the situation, but it's really weird because it's like a thing of human psychology and these weird like culture norms that how do you attack this at the individual level? It's not trivial. And as a leader, again, if even that you get stigmatized as well as a leader because it doesn't serve both ends, let's say, because in the same time you'll have these type of women that take that type of strategy, let's say, they will attract certain attention to them. The ones that will be kind of going to these festivals in terms of leaders will be the ones that maybe want something else other than dancing. And so you'll attract more of these people to these types of events. And maybe they're also good dancers as well. I don't know. But if they're there with other motives, you'll start to see that more and more of these people are present and all that. And then it's just a probability game that more and more of these guys are on the dance floor. You're going to start getting this kind of to say averaging where most guys are just there for that because more of them are now present on the dance floor, right? And it's like, well, not necessarily.
What makes a dance perfect for you? Describe your perfect dance.
Oh, I will. I'll just add the caveat. I don't believe in the idea of perfect.
Okay, like your dreamy, like the
Yeah,
dance of your dreams.
yeah. A very special dance that just leaves you kind of like, wow, almost like you're floating off the dance floor, just high on endorphins and whatever. It's somebody I think that shares the same kind of values as you in terms of the dance. So you can see that for me, for example, I really started to I really appreciate the aspect of lines. So not just an idea just for dancing in a straight line, whatever, but like what it means to dance in a straight line. It means that you're not outside of, the comfort zone of the leader where they can propose something without being felt pulled on or that they're pushing or something like that. So you have this kind of lightness, the connection point as well. So people that are not pulling on my arm or like just heavy in general. Active following is my God, it's amazing. It's so nice. Eye contact, fantastic. Like, you know, I'm also a person. Here I am. And listening to the music. If I'm dancing with somebody and they hear and they let's say they understand the music in terms of the structure of a music, how a music is founded in terms of the timing, the intros, the bridges, the pre-chorus, the chorus, all that. You have the big ones that are constantly being marked by an instrument or a sound, and you see them taking them on their own initiative, or at least preparing to, or at least like you already feel that they're ready for you to propose something to hit that big one. You're like, my God, yes, we're talking the same language, And after that, and I would say no. Another one that I forgot to answer is humor. How many times I will fuck up a dance move throughout a session with somebody, I lose count. There's a lot of times. But if they're able to just take that and do something funny with it, or just make a funny face, or because I try to do that as well, and vice versa, I'm happy. Yeah, it's like it's hard to go wrong with that recipe, I think, for me. Mm. You can, it's not as common as you would like. Most of the good things in life are not, but once you find people that have that energy and those ingredients, it's like it's not even if you're doing super complex moves, I don't care. Respecting the lines, the connection points, listening to the same music, eye contact, and having fun, making jokes whenever something doesn't go to plan, happy. It's like, I don't know, it's like eating your favorite ice cream on a hot day or something. You're just like, yeah, that was it. That's
Nice.
exactly what I wanted.
Okay, so in line with that,
Hmm.
what can a follow do to make you feel appreciated and valued and respected the lead?
Valued and respected. I can add what maybe something that's kind of like an anti question. Oh no, like an anti, like don't do this, and it's the same kind of answer.
Mhm.
I often sometimes you'll go to festivals and you'll meet dancers that say like, "Oh yeah, I just learn on the dance floor. I don't take classes. I just learn as I'm there." Right? It's always tempting to say like, "Yeah, it shows." A nice way, but
You should
yeah, and it makes sense. It doesn't make sense because one, keys is it's a technical, difficult dance. Like it's not as easy to learn in the sense of I won't compare difficulty levels between dances, but there are a lot of things to learn in keys in order to be have a good comfort and competency with it. And it's not intrinsic. And especially here in whatever Europe, like we're not Angolans, right? This is not like something that you just listen in your childhood. It's always in the, parties of the family, or you're going to the supermarket and there's this music's playing all the time. It's not ingrained in the culture. So there's things you have to learn that you're just not, it's not like osmosis, but like, if your culture is from this parts of the world where this music's constantly there, you're going to have a kind of a bit of a familiarity with it that's maybe a bit more easy to learn versus yeah, like a white guy like me, for example, whatever. And when people say that, like, yeah, I just learned on the dance floor and stuff like that, and I let the leader, teach me on the dance floor. It's kind of like, well, I'm not here to teach. Like, I'm here to have fun. You kind of feel like you're being used in that sense, which is not nice. Because, like I said, the dance should be, for me, should be creative and 50-50. Yes, people have different competency levels and comforts and all that, but if someone's just openly telling me like, yeah, I learn on the dance floor, like you can teach me this and that, you're like, two songs, thanks.
yes,
So stuff like
respect
that,
the
yeah, like, uh, especially if even if you have a bit of, let's say, an introspection or self-awareness, you'll realize like there are people here that they put an effort in, right? Like those steps you see that people do, they don't just, fart them out and it's randomly it happens. Like these are things that people train and they learn, and that's what makes this unique dance fun. Because if you don't do that, it's another type of dance. That's why keys is keys. If you want to do something else, it would be whatever, salsa or whatever. Like each dance has its own rules, right? Identifiers, right? And if
yes.
you're not learning them, it's not nice to feel used in the same way. Like you just go up to a social and you say, "Yeah, teach me," and the person's like, "Well, I'm here to have fun," and it's
Mhm.
not always like there's a responsibility with teaching people. Like you gotta assume a role and stuff like that. And I'm not in that mood if I'm out there social dancing and stuff, and I'm nowhere near qualified to be a prof. So no,
Yeah, follows we definitely get that too as follows, is a lead saying, "Teach me," and, like, I'm not a teacher, so
yeah,
no.
right. Like I imagine it happens on both sides. Like again, for me, it's a sense of you feel kind of used, right? Like you're not a dancer. You're here to be an instructor, even though you're on the dance floor, right? You're just as another person. I'm not here to assume a higher role than you and you know
Mhm.
take responsibility for your learning journey here in the middle of the dance floor. Like, no, it's not that, not that. And I think yeah.
Yeah.
To follow up that other question, sorry, wrap up the question you asked. I think what I was mentioning before about what makes a dance nice was like that. Like you feel respect, and since they look at you, they make jokes. They're not they're a bit aware of like how, the body contact affects the other person. So, oh my God, I have to really pay more attention to, this person, like how my hand on their body is like actually affecting them, right? And so I think, yeah, almost just being decent enough to the other person to realize that, you have an impact on them. You can affect them the way you dance with them, you connect with them. And if you're attentive enough and you adapt to that person, because not everybody's, we're not made from the same cookie cutter. We have different sizes and shapes, and I think it's more than enough. It's fine.
So seeing each lead as an individual, as a person, not as a one size fits all amusement park ride that they can just get on and enjoy themselves for 3 songs.
Pretty much, yeah, contributing to the effort, right? The 50-50. It's like, don't, like, if they're coming to me like, yeah, make me dance, like, fuck you. Sorry. Like, what am I, a dildo? Like, no. Sorry to put it like that, but
No, I love it. I appreciate the honesty. It's
yeah,
very true.
yeah, and yeah, bringing something to the table, right? So it doesn't feel like work. It's actual like an enjoyment, an activity that we will both, once it's over, will be happy and we won't feel bruised or hurt or something like that. Or
Yeah, so you co-created something together,
yeah,
and there's a product that you're both happy and proud of.
yeah, it's very corporate speak. I like it.
Sure. Okay. What would you say is the hardest thing for a lead? So something that like every single lead struggles with, or something that is hard for them, something that follows need to be aware of.
I think one thing, I think it applies to both leader and follower, just because it's in the dancing context, is learning the fundamentals and the basics and like the technique. So like you learn how to do the basic 1-2 with the correct weight transfer, and you learn how to walk the lines. You learn how to make the correct connection points without disturbing your partner's posture or march walking. That I think, independent of your role in the dance, is very difficult because it's not the sexiest thing to learn, but it's super important when you're learning. I think any dance is these kinds of fundamentals that, or shout out to Ozzy again. He gave me the good analogy of like you're building a house. You want to make sure that the terrain you pick is perfect, and then the foundation is fucking earthquake proof, solid proof, flood proof. This thing has to be so well enforced that anything you build on top of that will not shake. So I think that's super important. After that, what's something that follows can know that is difficult for leaders is maybe the pressure to kind of perform kind of thing, like to make the person step or more interesting things. The kind of thing we do live in like a performative society, so you're kind of always like comparing yourself with like, "Ooh, can I do a more cool step than that guy?" or something like that. You also have your own personal goals that, yeah, I want to see if I can do something better or if I can develop on something I already know. And it can be a bit intimidating at first if you're dancing with somebody that has a good level or knowledge, comfort, where you might get the impression that they're waiting for you to impress them or something like this.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea is that if it's a person that's not there to, I'd say that's there in the kind of sharing, co-creating thing, as you just mentioned, really nice word. Actually, I'm going to use that more often. You're going to be more leaning in towards the kind of mutual kind of connection space that's makes it comfortable and enjoyable versus impressive. So kind of getting out of this, like, let's say, ego mode of impressing people and really focusing on like, but can we have a good time and not hurt each other?
Mm-hmm.
And from
Yeah.
there maybe develop into something. I think that's very difficult because it's you have so much influences about new steps came out from here, or there's a new style developing here, or this and that, and it's the current trend and what everyone's doing and all that stuff, and it can be a bit overwhelming sometimes. So it's definitely a challenge that you kind of, I face it all the time. You see this like, new step that's come out, or even the music. Let's say sometimes the music is just super urban, which I hate, by the way. If it's just like the really electronic, super fast car alarm ADHD thing.
Yeah, I call it techno kids.
Yeah. Oh my God, I hate that shit so much. If you
Yeah,
ever see
not
me on
not a
the
fan of
fest,
techno
yeah,
kids.
and like I'll be dancing with somebody and that music comes on. I do an effort to tell them like, listen, we'll keep dancing. I just want you to know I hate this song, and I'll keep dancing with you in the hopes that the music would change. Because if you like it, I'll do an effort, and I don't want to just quit the person because they don't like the song, especially if it's like the first song. So like I'll do like the enough to find like a respectable medium if it exists, and then music changes maybe. But if it's like this techno keys crap that's they're always playing in like the urban battle keys stuff, like I hate that shit
Yeah.
so much. But the kind of music kind of it generates anxiety in you, right? Because it's just like super
Hmm.
rapid, fast
Yes.
paced, and
Yes.
it's it's
Definitely anxiety producing music for sure.
God, it's like they just put cocaine in like the sound system and gave it a keys beat and like yeah, there you go, urban.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a strange one too because I think like it kind of I don't say it's kind of eating a lot of like the title of what urban keys is. You know, like everyone's just saying like, oh, urban keys is only this type of music and that type of style, and like I don't know, like you can still do nice pivots and other moves that don't go with that music and it's still urban, but
Hmm.
it's an evolution in music. You can't control that. That's how the scene will develop and go into it. But I am not obligated to like it when I'm saying it. I fucking hate it,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
that effect can be a bit daunting if you're new to it. You don't know how to navigate that type of music, and you feel this music is giving you pressure to move quickly and all that.
Hmm.
The follows is like looking at you, waiting or something, and
Yeah.
so it could be stuff like that. Lots of stuff actually.
Right. I feel like it's a more generalized rule that women want to dance with the men for as long as they can. So the men are the ones who usually end the dance.
Mm.
How do men feel when it's the woman who ends the dance? Does that make you feel any type of way?
I guess it's like the context and how the dance is ended. Like, 'cause you're still people in the end, right? And there is the kind of generic rule of two, three songs minimum. And if it's just three songs in and you can feel like nothing's going as it should and they end it, you're like, yeah, maybe it's not so, but you might feel it a bit on your ego, let's say. Or it can be like, you danced a long time and you want to keep dancing and the other person doesn't and cuts it. Personally, the way I was raised, like nobody owes me anything. If they want to end it, that's fine. I can't be like, oh, but I felt something more. It's a dance. Life still exists after and during even. Multitude of reasons they can end it, and that's not an issue for me. But I guess maybe some people do take it a bit personally. I've had really nice ones where I've danced with somebody and they've ended the dance, but they gave me they ended it such a nice way. It's like I really enjoyed dancing with you. I have to take a break, or I have another obligation, or whatever. I hope we dance again sometime.
Mhm.
Little human detail like that. It was like, "Mwah,
Mhm.
mwah." Like I'm happy it ended because that's like the best way to end it, you know.
Mhm.
And I've
So
had ones,
how you end the dance really matters.
yeah, same. I guess how you start it as well, right?
Yeah.
You can just like people just like pull women, by the hand onto the dance floor. I would not do that. That's not cool. That would never fly in any other part of life. I don't know why on the dance floor that's accepted. And you can already see it doesn't provide a good atmosphere or I guess preview of what the person's gonna be like.
Yeah.
And so I I think yeah, the best way you can to end it is you end it. You don't have to say anything. I don't expect anybody to say anything, but the best way is if you can say like thank you and that's it. If you say thank you and something extra, mwah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, noted.
yeah.
Okay. I mean, it is nice to have like a longer dance. And then whenever it ends, if the lead gives you like a really nice hug and says, thank you, that was lovely. And yeah, it's really nice. Of course, the longer of a dance, the more significant of a parting maybe we expect. Like, can't just
Mm,
dance for like 2 hours with someone and then thank you and walk away like it's nothing.
I've had that happen. Trust me. But challenge accepted, and many people have done that. Oh, many, but it's happened. Bueno.
No. I think if we dance for more than 2 hours, I expect you to say something like, "Oh my god, I love dancing with you. This was a life-changing experience."
Yeah. I want a poem, I want you to give me some nice thing. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
You're expecting some aftercare because it does feel really intimate.
Mm.
So, you can't just walk away. You have to connect afterwards a little bit and have that cushion.
Yeah.
after the end and before you actually part ways.
Yeah, I guess let's say if you want to do a comparison to something similar, but let's say like something also intimate. Like imagine you're intimate with somebody in like a bedroom setting, right? And they just get up and leave. You're like, well, no, thanks. It's kind of like a similar taste in the mouth, pun intended.
Actually, you know what? You know what? I just remembered that I went to Berlin Festival this summer
Yeah, yeah.
and I had an amazing dance that was definitely between 2 and 3 hours with someone, and it was so amazing, so great, and then at the end, we basically shut it down. So we danced until it was over. Like, the lights came on, and of course, like, when the lights come on, it's, like, a little jarring to your nervous system.
Yeah, to your pupils, yeah, you're just like,
Yeah,
what?
to just yes, exactly, to all of you. So, by the end of the dance, I was just feeling, like, so, like, woozy.
Yeah, yeah.
That we actually did just, like, say, like, "Thanks," and then I walked away because I was so, like, out of it.
Mhm.
And then, like, crap, like, I don't even know his name. Luckily, like, the next day when I saw him at the day social, like, we talked again, and I was like, "So what's your name?"
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Again, and then we connected, like, on social media and stuff.
Sure, yeah.
But yeah, so we did end it, but I think it's because we were both just, like, so, like, "Whoa," like, so out of it and so
Yeah, yeah.
woozy.
Yeah, like
So, it's not necessarily a bad thing, it does happen.
yeah, yeah. Like there's obviously, let's like you said, like corner cases, right, where you're in the moment and the lights come on and you realize you're dehydrated. And, God, yeah, I gotta get water or I have to go to the toilet or whatever, right?
Hmm.
But I think, as you said correctly, the aftercare is a good word. I gotta remember that one too. It's important because it's an intimate thing that you're doing, and dance is at least partner dancing, where it comes from originally. Although we've evolved in terms of what the goal of it, partner dancing is for.
Well, have you ever had a connection so strong with someone that it made you want to explore it beyond the dance floor? Have you ever had a dance connection, I guess, so special that it made you think that you wanted something more with that person, that you wanted something romantic with that person outside of dance?
I mean, there's definitely factors, let's say, where you dance with somebody, and the example I was using is like you kind of speak the same language in terms of like how you communicate and express yourselves in the dance and what you value. So if you find that, you kind of have an idea that this person has that in them, which is like, oh, okay, what else do maybe we have in common, stuff like that. But in terms of getting like immediately attracted to somebody from dancing, like to go furthermore. Like I've never hooked up with somebody in the dance floor, the community specifically. Like I've treated it always as a dance first. I've also been a bit, let's say, I put my own efforts into not doing that and then getting some type of reputation that I'm only there for that, because I'm aware that that's something that would work against me and my personal goals to just become a better dancer. And I think that's definitely something that would not serve me well, and it's not what I want to. Also, I don't like being used. I don't want to use people's.
Very
But in terms,
respectable.
I try to be sometimes.
Have you tried to pursue something romantic after?
Yeah,
If you haven't, most of the time it turns out to be nothing anyway, so you just basically did not waste your time.
yeah. Like my case is a bit particular because it kind of I go back to how we started the whole thing. Like the dancing journey for me, especially last year, been really, really complicated for me. 'Cause I had like some very difficult moments. So I wasn't really open in general to anybody. I was just using this like as a way to get through something. Still am. It's kind of I would say my case is a bit particular in that case, where maybe there might have been an interest on the other end, but I wasn't receptive to it, or completely
Yeah,
oblivious.
that's fair.
Maybe I did try, but I wasn't like I didn't feel good enough to keep going and nothing happened. Maybe in the future, yeah, but most time, I mean, like you won't see this person ever again, or you'll cross them very, very rarely. Maybe you keep in touch, and that's a beautiful thing about the dance community. You can meet cool people that you keep in touch, and you find you have like a lot of things in common, and same sense of humor or whatever, and small world kind of thing. But yeah, in terms of actually going all the way, no.
That's totally fine. Not yet. We'll just leave it at that.
Not yet. Optimistic.
Why are male leads not nearly as obsessed to dance with female artists the way that female follows are obsessed to dance with male artists?
Ooh, that's a fantastic question. You're good at this. Really good at this. My bravo, that's a good question. If I have to think about like me personally in the beginning, it can be intimidating because the dynamic of the leader follower is as a leader, you're kind of implied that you're the one proposing, steps or things to the follower that will then either be answered or not if done correctly or if the follower is willing. So maybe that kind of like you have to kind of know what you're doing in a way to dance with a lead an artist follower can be an intimidating factor. I've also noticed personally a lot of the follower artists are not always on the dance floor. um a lot of them, not a lot of, but I see it often, like you'll see some big artist names and the leader will be on the dance floor but the follower might be just I don't know where, potentially as a result that they're not being asked a lot. So that I can understand, already anticipate as like a answer to my own question. Maybe there's like the kind of intimate thing where they already assume they're in intimate with their leader as a outside of the dance, so like that option is cut off or whatever, if that's what the people dancing as leaders are looking for.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm trying to imagine what are answers to this question. For
That
me, it was
doesn't stop. I don't think that stops female follows from wanting to dance with male artists who are in romantic relationships already with either their dance partner or someone else.
yeah, I'm curious as to like what other people's answers are for this, because like, oh man, this is Steffi or this is Gabi, like they're fucking empresses of the dance floor, and I'm barely doing a Saida properly.
Okay, but what about now? What about now?
But you know what? Honestly, I will say like I don't even look for them. If they're there, great. If not, I don't care. When we just saw each other last weekend, I coincidentally danced with apparently two artists. I had no idea, and they were just there. I'm like, oh shit, okay, you're a really good dancer. Like, oh yeah, I teach here. I'm like, ah, that explains why. And also, I think the positioning, if they ever are available, is like they're usually waiting behind where the DJ booth is, where all the big names are dancing. So like there is just one, there's no space, and you kind of have to like navigate 1,000 people dancing and moving all at the same time to get them to ask them. It could be also like you don't want to bother them because maybe they've been teaching, they're tired or whatever, and they're just enjoying like the me time kind of thing. Possible. But if I'm at a festival and there's a person that I recognize as an artist and they're available and they're there and someone else hasn't asked me yet, then yeah, I'll ask them. If they say
Okay,
yes, great. If not,
but would you wait to dance with them? Like, would you wait, I don't know, I guess in line in a queue to dance with them?
no, given because I think if we go back to the parity thing where I see a lot of follows waiting, and I feel like a bit of a responsibility to also not be, let's say, not dancing with them because there's an artist waiting for me, potentially available to dance. And yeah, it's kind of like it would be nice to, but it's not the end all if it doesn't happen. I put an effort maybe if I'm in a taxi context, if I'm outside of my shift and I can enjoy the festival at my own pace. I might do like a turn around the dance floor to see if there's like somebody I recognize from somewhere that, ooh, saw you in a video, would like to dance with you. They're available. If not, there's lots of, like I said earlier, like, just hidden diamonds of dancers that are just waiting. So you're like, I'll just
Nice.
try. Yeah. But
Okay.
I do have some empathy for the female artist followers because I imagine it's not definitely not the same experience as the leader follower, a leader artist. And they definitely, have you
Sure.
talked to some of them about it? Like what their experiences are
No, I think you're the first one that I'm talking to about this.
for the artist followers, like the more known names, I guess.
Wait, have I talked to the artists about this or
Yeah, like a known artists that are followers.
no?
No, not yet.
Well, I have talked to female artists who also lead.
Okay.
They're more in high demand because people want or like follows want them to lead them.
Mm.
Um, Yeah, or it depends. I think it depends on the type of dance. But
Mm,
yes, I have heard from at least one of them who do say that they do dance well, actually, a couple of them have spoken about this on social media
mm.
and say that, yeah, both men and women expect to dance with them, and people do line up for them, and they do feel like social dancing is work for them, and they
Good
are
thing there,
handmade.
good thing there's
Yeah,
an app that you can book them directly now, right?
right. We've had
What are your opinions on this whole Douceur dance style and its presence in the key scene?
I personally love Douceur. It was one of the first styles that I learned,
Mm-hmm.
and I learned it as just basically connection. Douceur is a very connective dance.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved it because it was that very subtle, small body movement and breathing together. And to me, it was just pure connection.
Mm-hmm.
And it felt like really, really good. Because it was simple, it was musical, it was very, like, nuanced, it was
Mm-hmm.
very soft, and it just felt, like, very gentle, like I wasn't being asked to perform, I was asked to just simply be and breathe and respond.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that was just so good. And then I learned the dark side of Douceur. So
Mm.
basically the dark room, the Douceur room, the after
Crazy
hours
concept.
room. And that definitely made me more weary of it. It's like this beautiful dance, but I can't just dance it with anyone because there's a certain expectation that comes with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think my first European festival, I learned that let's go to the Douceur room basically means, hey, let's go upstairs. It basically like meant the same thing. Like, do you want to, be sexual with me?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think Douceur inherently is sexual. I think it is more on the sensual side,
Mm-hmm.
but not just because of the physical closeness and intimacy of it. There's no space like there is in urban or tarasho
Mm-hmm.
or even traditional.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it's sexual or it has to be sexual. I mean, it can definitely turn in that direction. Again, two consenting adults,
Mm-hmm.
if you that's how you want it to be. I mean, so can Tereshinha. It can also be sexual, but it doesn't have to be. If you dance it respectfully, I believe that Douceur it is possible to dance it with anyone. I feel like as long as the person like smells good because it is so close that like if someone had strong body odor, there's just
Yeah.
no way. But if the person's body feels comfortable to you, because I've danced to serve with all kinds of people and I've enjoyed it with all kinds of people. And yeah, as long as I'm made to feel comfortable, it's a dance where you can literally just like close your eyes and the whole room falls away. And it's
Mm-hmm.
just you and that person. And it's like you're in your own little world and it's just the two of you. And yeah, you can dance like that for hours. So, yeah, I love it. And there's just again like such a softness and sweetness because it means sweetness in French.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a very soft and sweet connection. It is of course like really nice to dance it with someone who you are interested in.
Mm-hmm.
So if I do like someone, I will definitely want to dance dessert with them. At, at one of the recent festivals that I've gone to, I literally took someone out of the traditional room and I'm like, "Let's go to the urban room," because they were playing dessert.
Uh,
We're done dancing traditional, like, this was fun, but I wanna dance. And it was very intentional, like, yes, I want to be physically close to you, I want to dance like that with you because I like you, because we
sure.
have that kind of a connection.
Right.
So did that answer your question?
Yeah, no, I asked because I'm trying to get input and perspectives on because I'm having since the beginning I had a difficulty with this and I still do. If I have difficulty with something, I try to treat it as a sign to something that's work on. It's like, okay, this is a place for growth. Let's call it like that.
Mhm.
And I have difficulty sometimes even seeing Doucer as like a more than an element of a dance. Like I don't want to step on anybody's toes here, but even to say it as a dance is like it's sometimes difficult for me to make peace with that because in every kind of dance style there are some particular steps and things that are happening that are dynamic. And with
Mhm.
Douceur, it's so subtle and small. It doesn't fit into that, let's say, mold or category that I've kind of grown up with and
Mhm.
studied that when I navigating the dance adventure, what qualifies as a dance.
Yeah, but that's what makes it so difficult, and
Mm,
it seem easy, but it's
hmm
actually not. Mm.
Yeah.
Because you do need a lot of control, body control, and a lot of
hmm
sensitivity, and you need to be relaxed and vulnerable and trusting enough to really just it's like your bodies almost come one and you are living as one.
hmm
And not leads are good at douceur. Some of them try to force it. Some of them try to like physically move you, just like
hmm
with fettuccine. They try to like physically make you do the wave, like with your hips, with your butt. And it's like, no, none of this is about forcing the follow to do any of this. It's about initiating the movement with your breath, with your micro movements
hmm
and then follow response, and it's a very high level skill actually, because not everyone is good at it.
Because yeah, I believe it or not, that was the first time I tried Douceur since January. Exodus. Last time when we first met.
Mhm,
And because I said, okay, I keep having difficulties with the thing because for me it's very intimate. If you're not interested in this person, it's like for me at least, seeing this as something that's not developing into something outside of the dance or like challenging. So I said, I'll try. It was nice, but I still struggle with it because even if you go to Tarraxinha, for example, if you talk to the Angolans and you see like what Tarraxinha in Portuguese, it's a diminutive. The Inha means it's a diminutive of Tarasha.
mhm.
That's
It's little screw.
yeah,
Mhm,
little screw, exact.
yeah,
So like that was invented where they would go to the bar and you just find someone to do these kind of movements for something out.
yeah,
So
it's grinding, you're grinding.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It's kind of like even and when talk to someone, they're like, yeah, it doesn't make sense like why you guys in Europe would take courses for this to just learn how to grind and drive.
respectfully.
Yeah,
We take
respect.
classes to learn to do it respectfully.
Right, yeah, but the idea being is like they associate that dance with something that's leading to something else, right? They don't
Mhm,
see it as like a dance to learn steps and become better. It's like this is just the like the well, I'm not speaking for all Angolans or Heim. No, don't kill me.
mhm.
From what I've heard, like there's all these attitudes, like this is a kind of dance that was used to lead as like a pre-context to something that happens after, if
Yeah,
it's
it's
intimate or whatever.
foreplay. Yes,
Yeah,
it
foreplay,
is
that's the word.
definitely foreplay.
So to see that kind of, I don't know how to put it, being marketed as a dance that you can learn and you can train and all this kind of stuff is like,
Because it's still a skill. I mean, seduction is also a skill.
sure, yeah. Like again, I'm not picking sides. I'm trying to navigate this space and come to my conclusion. Like, because I'm trying it now. I'm like, oh, okay, it's interesting. At the last festivals I was, okay, I started to get an idea of like the fine motor control you need. It was cool, and especially after you've danced with somebody for a while, you're like, oh, okay, this is you already have that kind of comfort with the person to be in that close space too, which is nice. And like you said, the dark side too is just like, oof, I have a memories of like, friends that come from, let's say, salsa, bachata, and they wanted to do dancing, and they come to the keys room, and they're just invited by some guy that immediately goes into like the douceur position. Like, I'm not comfortable with all this, but if this is
Mhm.
how you dance keys, I have to kind of keep an open mind and all that. And like, I had to tell them, like, no, you just push them away. You're not obligated to
Yeah.
dance like that. In a way, kind of like it it's giving a one-sided image of how you dance keys because they use the same kind of style of music, maybe a bit slower, to dance in this kind of position. So it's an interesting subject that I'm trying to study more and more and get more opinions and perspectives about it so I can
Yeah, it is. And
approach it from a different angle each time.
I feel like it involves a lot of patience and vulnerability on both sides because when you decide to dance to surf for someone, it's like you're both acknowledging, okay, we're in this And the 2, 3 song rule kinda goes out the window.
Hmm.
Because once you settle into that connection with someone, and if it feels good for both of you, you can dance to serve for hours. And it's just that, hey, we're in this, we're enjoying this, and it's like a meditation. It's a dance meditation where it's you and your breath and your heartbeat and that person, and you're sharing that with them. And it doesn't have to be sexual at all. It can be very pure, very sweet, very soft.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's amazing. I love me some good Douceur. And some people throw it into their urban, surprisingly, like it's nothing. I don't like Douceur in small doses. It's so good that you can't have just like a little bit of it. I was dancing at PKC with an amazing urban dancer, and I was expecting just your urban pure steps. And then he would start Douceur, and I'm like, whoa, okay, this is really nice. But then he would end it and then go back to stepping. And I'm like, wait, but I was just in this dream meditative state, and now I have to go back to stepping. And then he will do Douceur again. And it was good, but it was teasing almost.
I think he knew what he was doing.
I don't know.
But that's actually a theme too. That like the weird fluctuation in music is a thing that I've noticed that I'm not understanding. But sometimes you'll get certain mixes at the festival where it just seems schizophrenic to me. They'll go from like traditional, urban, traditional, compa, urban, and this weird mix of songs that I don't know what's happening, but something
Mhm.
strange, and I'm noticing it more and more.
Why they have the compa room, the dessert room, because for those types of dances, you really do need a safe space where you know you're not going to be interrupted. You know you can go into this meditative dance state and not be jarred out of it by a change in music.
Yeah, it's a bit of like a flow or like a build up
Hmm.
that
Yeah, it's a
doesn't get
flow,
just
exactly.
cut into compa.
Yeah, exactly. It's a
And
flow.
nothing is compa. I love it, but
See, to me, compa is actually more intimate than dessert for some reason because I don't know. See, compa, I will not dance with just anyone, but dessert, I will.
if you have like any like Haitian friends, they'll tell you like the different styles of compa because I get from limited knowledge that I have, there's multiple styles, and what's more commonly danced is compa guyad, where it's really close
Mm,
and intimate position. But you have compa where it's an open position and you have some
yes.
spins and stuff, and
Yeah, it can be fun.
yeah, like there's different styles. It's just that maybe the more intimate closed position is the one that's being marketed more and danced more. So that's the one that kind of people associate as compa next style.
Yeah, because in douceur, the connection is more in the chest, in the upper
Hmm.
body, where it is your breath and your upper body.
Hmm.
Whereas with compa and even tarashinha, like it's all in the hips, so it's
Hmm.
more intimate, more it feels for a woman like exposed than I guess sexual.
Sure. Yeah. I guess between the sexes too, there's a difference on how it's received. Anatomy.
But okay, I think we can wrap this up. Thank you so much for joining me and giving us the male lead's perspective on what it's like being a male lead in the Kizomba urban kiss scene and everything that you guys have to deal with and go through and experience.
Thank you for having me and for being such a good host, posing really good questions and lots of patience.
It was good.
I'm always happy to have good conversation with you. You're a master debater, and I like it.
Yeah, that's how we became friends. We started debating things and talking about things. So, yeah, thank you that it has all led to this. Thank you. I'll tell everyone where they can follow you on socials and so they can, get in touch with you, follow you, know which festival you're going to be at next,
Oh, sure.
stalk
Yeah.
you.
So oh God, yeah, I need more stalkers. Inflate my ego. Yeah, I have. You can follow me on the dance profile I have. It's called Kamarad Keys. So it's Kamarad with a K underscore Keys with two Z's.
Mhm.
Uh,
Uh,
January, I think I have one. It's called Enjoy Your Keys. I'll be taxiing there, and I'll be at the festival. And after that, I'll see. I haven't planned that far ahead, but I usually update my profile picture with the banner and
Mhm.
all that and some time ahead. So I'm happy to share my limited experience, an ever evolving experience with you anytime, and looking forward to dance with you again and have more interesting talks in the future.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining us. Let us know what you think in the comments and follow, subscribe. All right. Bye.